Legends and champions, welcome back to another installment of 5-Minute Tones. This one's going to be a little bit different today because I want to basically just toot my own horn and walk you through a factory preset that I've made for the FM3. The FM3 currently has firmware 4 as a public beta release, and there are release candidates or previews for the updated and enhanced factory presets. So this is one of them. This is right towards the back. It's basically an example of a kind of bread and butter live preset. I normally use it with my PRS SC245 in drop C. There's 8 scenes, and let's just start with my main rhythm guitar scene. Like I said, I'm tooting my own horn here. These are all named after ragdoll songs, and I'll try to play examples from those songs. So scene 1, Rust, is my main rhythm scene. I'm using the USA lead mid gain based on the Boogie Mark IV. There is a gate to keep things tight. In this example, we're using factory cabs. If you want, you can sub this out for LT TV Mix 7, which is an IR that I made of one of my own cabs that I use live in basically this exact preset. That's the only change I make to it. Parametric EQ, again, for live use, taking out some low end and some high end. A multi-band compressor for the rhythm stuff, just to kind of act as a dynamic EQ. There's a multi-tap delay for the leads, a delay for some of the rhythmic delay parts, and just a touch of this Recording Studio C reverb for kind of like a roomy feel, especially on in-ears. Anyway, let's just have a look at some of the scenes. You notice there that the change from rhythm to lead was seamless, but I had way more gain and a slightly different character. That's because I have control switches attached to the input boost and the fat switch over here. I should mention as well, on the perform pages, the per preset perform pages have a bunch of amp functions and effect functions, which you can tweak straight from the front of the unit. Scene 3 and 4 use a dual delay as a rhythmic delay effect. This one I use for a bunch of different songs live in our set. This is tied up to the tap tempo. So it's a lovely stereo dual delay. And scene 4 does a little trick with the multi-tap delay. I'm on channel B now, and what I've done is I have created a quad chorus. I've taken the 4 delay lines in the quad tap delay, set them to really short times, and I've used this chorus function. There's a really fast rate on one of them and some slower rates, so you kind of get this widening effect and a wobbly rotary style thing. That one is super duper fun. On scene 5, this is basically just a lo-fi scene. I'm using channel B on the parametric EQ to kind of make it sound like the guitar's being played through your phone speaker. So that one kind of speaks for itself. I use that for intros and some down parts of some songs. And then we have some bonus stuff in here. So this scene here is the multi-delay and the dual delay, but the dual delay is basically set up to do a circular style delay by setting the cross feedbacks to 100% on here. So this is just super, super lush if you want to take that lead scene even further and have more delays on there. I think in the multi-tap delay as well. No, that's my main usual kind of chorus and delay thing going on there. Anyway, this one's insane fun. So much going on there. Scene 7, this one, what does this one do? We've got a dual delay on there, again, turned right down, so kind of providing a little bit of ambience, and we've got a different quad chorus happening here. This is more of like a kind of widening effect. So you get this. That's really fun if you want to do like the Whitesnake 1987 thing as well. And the last scene is totally different. It uses the band commander basically at stock settings, a little bit of delay, a little bit of reverb, and this is for all my kind of sensitive Sundays style noodling. And that's it. That's the preset. If you want, you can go to AxeChange and you can download my live cab and bump it into a user bank. It does sound a little bit different because this cab is a greenback cab in there. So I would normally bump that in. I would set this to ultra res as well, just because you can. And let's have a listen to that one on scene 1 really quickly. So it's just a slightly different character there. I find V30s are fantastic speakers for high gain tones, but they also are just a little bit generic. So using greenbacks on there just gives me that little point of difference. I'll show you one more thing really quickly, but I got to change presets first. All right, really quickly, I'll show you a few things in here. What I wanted to have was still have kind of like a room sound, but I didn't want to use a reverb block. So I've used the diffuser in the quad tap delay. I started with a core delay time of 100 milliseconds, and then each of these subsequent delays just multiply that value by the golden ratio. I then scaled it down to 5% with the master time. So this is going to give me, again, a kind of roomy sound. Very, very subtle in there, but it is just a tiny little bit metallic sounding and not quite wide enough sounding. So I've used pitch detune, basically some Eventide style pitch detune settings. I've been obsessed with the H3500 I've got here at the moment. So basically these cop those settings. Now you get this massive kind of wide sound out of the preset, but you still have that little bit of ambience on there. And this is something that I would use live when I have the luxury of playing stereo. I'll play you all out with it. You can try these settings out. You can try that factory preset by visiting the forum and grabbing those release candidate blocks. Otherwise, thanks for watching. We went way over time today, but sometimes that's what happens when you're having a good time. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.